Hello everyone, my name is Soumyaranjan Das and in this video we are going to be discussing about the topic keyframe system, which is a topic in computer graphics and image processing. The first topic is introduction to keyframe system. The keyframe system is a technique that is used in animation to define key poses or frames that dictate the motion of an object or a character. The keyframes serve as reference points that help animators create smooth and realistic animations. The system is widely used in 2D and 3D animation to streamline the animation process. So now let's talk about how do we create these keyframes. Animators typically create keyframes at crucial points in the animation timeline. Keyframes are often at the starting and ending points of an action or movement. By strategically placing keyframes, animators can achieve the desired motion and timing in their animation. Now let's talk about the interpolation between keyframes. Interpolation, which is also known as interbetweening, is the process of generating intermediate frames between two keyframes to create the fluid motion. Interpolation techniques include linear, ease in, ease out, and Bezier curves. These techniques help smooth out the transitions between keyframes and the natural looking animation. If we look at the picture to our right, we'll see the keyframes with initial and the final image. You'll notice that the animation goes from the bottom right corner to the top left corner. And just below it, if you see it, we have three different frames, which are the intermediate frames, which shows us how the animation slowly goes from the bottom right corner to the top left corner. Now, having understood what is interpolation, one of the questions that arises is how do animators edit the keyframes? Now, animators can edit the keyframes to refine the motion and timing of the animation. Editing keyframes involves changing the position, rotation, scale, or other properties of the objects or characters. By fine-tuning keyframes, animators can enhance the overall quality of the animation. Moving on, now let's focus on what is the software that animators use for animation. The, the popular animation softwares are Adobe Animate, Autodesk Maya, and Blender support keyframe animation. These software tools provide features for creating, editing, and manipulating keyframes. Keyframes animation software simplifies the animation process and allows animators to bring their ideas to life. In this slide, let's talk about the keyframes that are used in 2D animation. In 2D animation, keyframes define the key poses and the movements of the characters or objects. Animators use keyframes to establish the main drawings in any sequence. By animating between keyframes, animators can create the illusion of movement in 2D environment. In this slide, let's talk about the uh, keyframes that are used in 3D animation. In 3D animation, keyframes play a crucial role in defining the motion of the 3D models. Keyframes are used to set up the initial and final poses of characters or objects in a 3D scene. Animators can create complex animations by manipulating the keyframes in a 3D environment. The keyframe in media production is a keyframe is a location on a timeline which marks the beginning or end of the transition. It holds special information that defines where the transition should start or stop. The intermediate frames are interpolated over time between those definitions to create the illusion of motion. Now let's talk about the application of keyframes in game development. Keyframes are used in game development to animate the characters, objects, and environmental elements. By setting keyframes, Game developers can create dynamic animations that enhance the gameplay. Keyframe animation is an essential tool for immersive gaming experiences. Uh, Keyframes in virtual reality. In virtual reality applications, keyframes are used to animate interactions, movements, and transitions. Keyframe animation in virtual reality helps create engaging and realistic experiences for the users. Animators can leverage keyframes to design interactive environments and characters in virtual reality. Another example of the usage of keyframes is seen in augmented reality. Augmented reality applications utilize keyframes to animate visual elements within the real world. Keyframe animation in augmented reality enhances the user experience by seamlessly integrating virtual content with physical environment. AR developers rely on keyframes to create compelling and interactive AR experiences for the users. Now, what are the challenges of keyframe animation? The first one is achieving smooth and natural looking motion between keyframes can be challenging. The second is managing a large number of keyframes in complex uh, animations require careful organization and planning. The third one is balancing creativity with technical precision is essential for successful keyframe animation. In this slide, we'll talk about the future trends in keyframe animation. Advances in AI and machine learning are expected to streamline keyframe animation workflows. Real-time keyframe editing tools may become more prevalent, enabling animators to iterate quickly on their animations. Third is virtual production techniques such as using LED walls and motion capture could revolutionize keyframe animation in film and television. Now, let us look at the case studies of keyframe animation. The use of keyframe in blockbuster animated films such as Pixar's Toy Story, Disney's Frozen showcases the versatility and effectiveness of the technique. Keyframe animation has been instrumental in the success of various video games like Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Fortnite. The keyframe animation has also been used in virtual reality experiences like Beat Saber and Job Simulator to create immersive and interactive worlds. So with that, we come to the end of the presentation. With this presentation, I would like to conclude that keyframe system is a fundamental technique in animation that enables animators to create dynamic and engaging motion. By setting keyframes, animators establish the foundation for smooth and lifelike animations in 2D, 3D, video editing, game development, virtual reality, augmented reality. Mastering keyframe animation requires a combination of artistic skill, technical skill, and creative vision to bring animations to life. With this, we have come to the end of the video. I would like to thank you for watching the video.